This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. The sexual revolution of the 1970s has taken its toll on many countries around the world. And the sexual liberalization which we have today is unparalleled in modern times. I'd like to show you today some statistics and also will give you a few facts which might be surprising to you. But I also like to ask you to stay tuned because at the end of this program we will show you a very important, very brief video which you do not want to miss. Let's talk about marriage for a moment. The Daily Mail published an article today, February 28, saying this: marriage rates for opposite-sex couples are now at their lowest level on record, following a gradual long-term decline since the early 1970s. This applies, of course, to the United Kingdom, but, the statistics are very similar in other countries as well, especially the United States and the rest of Europe. It also says that religious ceremonies have continued a long-term decline. But even those who are married, there's a problem in many cases with fidelity. You can call it adultery. The IFS, the Institute for Family Studies, wrote on January 10, 2018, when Time magazine picked the Silence Breakers as the 2017 Person of the Year, few people paid attention to the other group of women negatively impacted by the fallout: the spouses of the men who engaged in inappropriate or even criminal sexual behavior. To these women, sexual harassment or abuse also means infidelity. In general, men are more likely than women to cheat. 20% of men and 13% of women reported that they have had sex with someone other than their spouse while married. Americans born in the 40s and 50s reported the highest rates of extramarital sex. And since the institution of marriage is no longer the preferred status, and even those who are married are engaging in many cases in adultery, and many of those who do that look at broken marriages, at divorces, and many of those who have cheated are not remarrying. What are they doing? Now, many have now come to the point that they want to live together with somebody without being married. A nice term for that is cohabitation. The Bible calls it fornication. And here's an article by the Washington Times, which was published on February 6, 2017, saying, cohabitation increasingly is becoming the preferred model for family formation in Europe and the United States. Now that should be alarming to all of us. But then what about another movement? Another movement which is called the LGBT movement, if you please. A report from June 13, 2017 had this to say: Americans' views toward those who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, LGBT, have changed substantially in recent years, and a majority of US adults now say homosexuality should be accepted by society. And the Los Angeles Times added on May 15, 2017, the majority of countries now allow sexual activity between consenting adults of the same gender. 122 countries allow homosexual acts between consenting adults. To go on, I'd like to read to you from a report by New Now Next, dated October 19, 2016. And guess who has the largest LGBT population in Europe? Are you guessing right? It says here Germany. Germany has the largest LGBT population in Europe. The new figures represent a dramatic increase in LGBT visibility for the country. More than 50,000 men were convicted because, you see, in Germany, homosexuality wasn't always legal. More than 50,000 were convicted of homosexuality between 1946 and 1969. And that is when the East and West German governments decriminalized homosexuality. But it still took until somewhere in the 70s to take the paragraph prohibiting homosexuality from the books. Now, I'm not here to advocate criminalizing homosexuality, but I'm here to tell you the change in standards. And if you go to the Bible, read about what the Old Testament has to say about homosexuality, read about what the New Testament has to say about it, and also read about how it's going to be when Jesus Christ is going to be here on earth ruling mankind. What about gay pride parades? There used to be a time when there were homosexuals, but they wouldn't come up and come out openly admitting it. Now it's not only that they are saying, yes, I am gay, they are having these gay pride parades. Wikipedia gives us some interesting statistics, but again, let me ask you a question. What city do you think has the largest parades in Asia on an annual basis? Again, did you guess right? Maybe you knew the answer already. Tel Aviv. The Tel Aviv Pride Parade is the largest parade in Asia, attracting more than 100,000 people. Then there are 3 cities in Europe which all claim that they are the biggest pride parades, or the hosts for those. And again, one of that is London. The other 2 are both in Germany again, in Berlin and in Cologne. We have prepared a free booklet, God's Teachings on Sexual Relationships. And in this very voluminous booklet, actually, we have this to say about pride and those gay pride parades. First, we quote Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13, saying, "Pride and arrogance and the evil way I, God, hate." We go on to say those who are involved in these marches are proud to be involved in perverted practices and evil ways. To take pride in practicing homosexuality and to proclaim this in public in the streets and squares of the world's leading cities is a sin of the spirit, a direct challenge to the law of God. And God will only allow it for so long. These are strong words, I realize. Our booklet makes it very clear from the Bible why these words are absolutely 100% correct. But before closing, I'd like to bring to your attention another situation which has hit the headlines recently. Live Side News wrote on February 14, Ohio government authorities forced parents to give up legal custody of their daughter, 17 years old, after the mother and father said they opposed the girl's decision to identify as a boy and transition to being male. Doctors decided that because she wants to identify as a male, she should be given sex change drugs. Breitbart added on February 19 that the parents argued their daughter was not even close to being able to make such a life-altering decision at this time. A county prosecutor, however, claimed the parents were opposed to their daughter transitioning to become a male because of their Christian religious beliefs. And of course you can't have that, can you? Now the Washington Times added on February 20, because this ended up in front of a court, a Hamilton County, Ohio judge took a transgender teen away from her parents on Friday because they refused to allow the 17-year-old to undergo hormone treatments as part of a female-to-male transition. The judge awarded custody of the teenager to her grandparents, who will be allowed to make medical decisions for the minor and legally change her name. The child has a legitimate right to pursue life with a different gender identity than the one assigned at birth, the judge wrote. Our comments are these. This is happening in the land of the free and the brave. A land which now protects the freedom of confused children and takes the freedom away from concerned parents. And the Bible says, woe unto those who call evil good and good evil, and woe unto those who make unrighteous judgments. So please stay tuned for our video, and until this next time, this is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
In a world of confusion, there are many personal opinions when it comes to sexual relationships. But what does the Bible say about, for instance, compulsory celibacy, cohabitation outside marriage, common law marriage, interracial or interreligious marriage, adultery, separation, divorce and remarriage, homosexuality, polygamy, or transgender? Are any of these relationships sinful in God's eyes? Has God changed His teachings on sexual relationships, or is He the same yesterday, today, and forever? Is today's traditional Christianity in compliance with God's values on sexual conduct and relationships? If not, what significance do wrong concepts on this vital issue have for us today and in the future? To learn the biblical answers and to receive a free copy of this booklet, go to eternalgod.org/contact.
Standing Watch is a presentation by the Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.